Look at that photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh.
I had two people when I did that charity donate $100 to make me sing that live, and it was awful.
All right. Becky's all logged in here, ready to rock.
Awesome.
So you want a full recap of everything that we've done so far?
I mean, just what you can do, a quick one. Like I said, you don't have to go into crazy detail. Just kind of give a rundown since we're starting the first YouTube video on session 19.
Session 19. Okay. All right. So let me gather myself for a minute here. The campaign began in the former imperial capital of Alberia, where a group of necromancers got together and decided to try and overrun humanity and failed. But in doing so, killed the current king, a very well-loved man, causing his daughter to take his place because she was the only remaining surviving child. In doing so, the necromancers essentially destroyed the land, made it to where plants and animals and stuff were not able to be kept up with to a point to where it would keep humanity thriving in that area. So it was decided that the queen made the decision that she would move her people over the mountain range to a new city and establish a new capital called Vesa. Our heroes are members of a mercenary company called the Aegis Vanguard, who were selected to assist in moving a large amount of raw materials over the mountains as members of a caravan, and they were to protect it. And so they did that. And upon arriving in the city of Vesa, they found some odd jobs, took care of a few things, and ran up against the wrong side of a thieves guild known as the Right People. They have since butted heads with the Right People a few times, and over the course of time have traveled to another city even farther to the north called Karst, which is kind of on the edges of civilization, and kind of a last bastion before reaching the Northlands and a large forest known as the Faneweald, which is a place that houses ancient magics from a long lost civilization. The party has, in trying to avoid the Right People, also run afoul of a drug lord and his attempts to also kind of take down humanity. He is an elven, essentially a rebel leader who is tired of humans and their attempts to keep the elves from being able to expand and live on their ancestral homelands. And so he has struck out at the leaders of Karst and actually murdered the elected lord of Karst in front of the party at a dinner party, and has been running a drug ring with and is putting a highly potent and very toxic drug into the public in a way to kind of subdue humanity through this kind of economic manipulation with this drug and the effects that it has on people. And so our mercenaries have kind of found themselves in a position where they're now trying to strike back against this drug lord / rebel captain leader who calls himself the Crow King. And recently our party has discovered a map that shows possibly the location of the Crow King in the Faneweald, which is where he makes his home. and they are preparing to kind of strike out against the Crow King in hopes of finding him and bringing down his criminal empire, and potentially saving many lives in the process. So that is the general rundown of the story so far over the course of about 19 sessions.
Nicely recapped.
Any questions? Anything I missed, guys? Feel free to jump in there.
I don't think you got it.
Level 7. Yeah, we hit level 7 last game. So we've been slowly kind of progressing over time. There's a lot of other little nuances and details obviously in there that are not super important to the grand arching storyline that I just explained, but that's kind of the important thread that goes through the last 19 sessions. All right, and so now I'll recap the last time that we played here so that we're up to date, and we'll get right into the game tonight. So we're starting a little late, but that's totally fine. I think tonight is probably going to go by at a pretty quick pace. So when last we left the mercenaries of the Aegis Vanguard, they were reunited with the leader of their mercenary unit, a man named Captain Volker. They've spent much time catching up on recent events since they have arrived in Karst, as they shared breakfast at the tavern called the Piss and Whistle. Emil and Seelan, 2 members of the elected officials in Karst, joined them and brought information that the drug lord Halstead had been captured and was being kept at the jail yard. It was decided that our heroes would interrogate him in hopes of gaining valuable information, while the other Vanguard members would smooth over the politics of recent events within the city. After negotiating their way into the jail yard, the party discovered a mortally wounded Halstead with a poisoned bolt in his neck, which is identified as the work of the murder, which are the Crow King's men. Halstead gave the party a crude map that supposedly showed the location of the Crow King's complex in the Fanewild. He informed them that a keystone is needed to enter the complex, and that only the Crow King's highest-ranking advisors carry them. And then he died. While returning to the tavern, a young street urchin stole Sinia's coin purse and baited the party into an alleyway where Lilith and the right people waited with a trap. The party narrowly fought their way out of danger and returned to the safe haven of the Piss and Whistle. And you all hit level 7. So everybody should be leveled up and ready to go. So if you're not, make sure that gets taken care of. Becky's over here scrambling with her dice to get everything figured out. By the way, Addie was over there like playing with dice the entire time after John came upstairs. Like she was just sitting over there like rolling dice over and over again. It was my proudest moment as a father. So it's all downhill from here, boys. Okay, cool. No, not hard at all. All right, let's see. So we are in the Piss and Whistle. And your good friends are here. Let's see. There's Grim Grindle the Goblin. Now, as you'll recall, that's Grim Grindle, but he's actually missing his right arm. So, and then you also have his faithful companion, Jinx the Mastiff. So there's Grim Grindle and Jinx, who are in the Piss and Whistle when you return to it. And so you walk in and you see Emil and Seelan sitting at the table. This is the evening of the events with the street urchin. And they're talking to this one-armed goblin and his giant armor-clad mastiff. And Grim Grindle smiles a yellow-toothed grin from ear to ear as you all enter into the tavern, and Jinx nearly tackles Cinia in excitement as he stands up on his hind legs and easily towers over the top of your mage. So, what was that? Did you have a question? You are, yeah. I mean, you're still injured. You guys are like cuts and bruises and stuff. You're pretty banged up right now. So, because this is right after the encounter that you had with the right people in the streets. As you recall, they threw a net over the top of you and tried to like catch you with a net or whatever, and then they had a mage, and the mage casted Cone of Cold, I believe it was, and nearly TPK'd you. So Sean, is your audio working, man?
Mine?
Yeah, I thought you said something. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Said, yeah, we nearly died.
Yeah.
We probably feel it. So we don't have our full hit points or anything.
No, you're still technically hurt.
I'm
So
at 6.
it's nighttime. Yeah, you guys might be. So Emil speaks to you while offering a seat at the table, and they've pretty much got dinner at the table waiting for you when you return. So they've got roasted chicken and some fresh baked bread and some sauteed turnips and a big old pitcher of ale. And he says to you, "Welcome back. Please regale us with. You don't look very good. Is everything okay?"
We were ambushed,
Ambushed.
and
You,
yes, by
you went.
a
What ambushed you at the jail?
it's a long story. The somebody pickpocketed Cinia. We chased the pickpocket, led us to a trap.
Everything's okay now, though.
Yes, we survived, which is I'm learning makes it okay. Yes.
Indeed. I don't think that I need to explain to you how tenuous of a situation this is right now. We have put all of our eggs in your basket in dealing with the Crow King, and if we don't have the mercenaries of the Aegis Vanguard, I don't know what the next step is. It doesn't look good.
Oh, we survived. So maybe one day we'll have a chance to come to terms with the right people in such a way where we never have to have a visit from them again.
Ah, I see.
And while you guys are conversating, I'm sitting down and eating and drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, they motion for you all to come over to the table and help yourself, and you're hungry at this point. So he says, "Please tell us what you discovered from our dear friend Halstead."
Well, we believe that we have a map to his complex now,
A map.
to the murder the Crow King's lair, I would say, where we were given that, but unfortunately the prisoner died. He was shot with a poison bolt.
Oh my. What did you?
It wasn't us. Someone else shot him. They didn't want him to speak any further, but we got a little bit out of him.
Curious indeed. Well, so this map, do you think do you think it could be useful?
Well, we may have to have an authority look at it. Grimgrindel, would you like to look at the map?
Grimgrindel kind of bobs his way over. Yes.
Yes. Well, I forget who has the map. Is it me? I'm looking around in my pockets and stuff.
It's not me.
So I'll pull out the map, I guess. So
Okay. You it's not even all the way out of whatever pouch it is that you were carrying it in, and Grimgrindel has already ripped it out of your hand and is unfolding it and fiddling around with and he puts it out on the table and he kind of flattens it and he's looking at things and it looks like he's kind of making notes and stuff. And then I think you all have access to the map, actually.
I picture him putting a foot up on the table to hold the map down while he makes notes with his one arm.
Yeah, he pulls out this. It's a rather long looking dagger, actually. It's pretty vicious looking, and it's got all kinds of nicks and stuff in it. And he takes the dagger and he uses the dagger to like knife the map into the table to hold one corner of it down. So and he's like using his pointy yellow fingernail that's got lots of grime on it to kind of look over the map. But essentially, the map shows what you think is probably a road that leads through kind of a tightly forested area, and it appears that there's some maybe like rock structures and a pond or something to that effect. And it looks like these rock structures maybe have like either caves or some kind of marked entrance on them. And so it's not very clear exactly what this is supposed to be, but maybe if you were to find like these, particular landmarks relative to what the map shows, it may be able to lead you to where some entrances are into what seems like our elven ruins, because it does say that on the map. And that's about all the information that you get. So it's pretty crude, but it may be helpful if you can find these land markers pretty much.
And the other piece of the puzzle is we need a stone or a key of some sort that only the most trusted of the Crow King's people carry in order to get in.
Indeed, that may be difficult to obtain. Well,
Grindel?
And he is completely ignoring you. He's just like
what a jerk.
This is the most in his element he's ever been, or something. Like he's just absorbing this. Yes. And then, yes, I might know where this is.
Think you could lead us there?
The what?
Do you think you could lead us there?
Maybe give us some instructions.
Perhaps. And you see him, he's fiddling with his necklace, which, as you'll recall, is a string of teeth. His teeth. When you first rescued him, he explained to you that he keeps a string of teeth so that if he ever loses one, he has one, because you never know when you might need one.
This is true.
So, and then he goes right back to looking at the map, and at that point, Emil kind of chimes in. Well, it is unfortunate that Halstead was slain, as perhaps he would have proved further use to us, but this is the one price that those who deal with evil deeds must pay. It would seem you've previously met our acquaintances, Grimgrindel the Goblin and his faithful hound Jinx. They are widely known as the best wayfinders in all of Karst. And at that, Grimgrindel reaches over and grabs the dagger out of the map and rips it from the table and points it directly in the face of Emil and yells, "In all of Tethys!" and you hear Jinx bark very loudly in agreement with what Grimgrindel says. And Emil puts his hands up and says, "Please forgive me, the best wayfinders in all of Tethys. Yes, of course. If we intend to strike at the Crow King directly, we will need Grimgrindel's skills and knowledge to help us discover his location. And because of that, Seelin and I have decided it best to put him on retainer in order to ensure his willful assistance."
Nice.
And you see Grimgrindel go right from what might have been attack mode into smiling and happy and bounding around again. He says, "Best friends, we travel together again." And he starts kind of leaping about like this little funky dance. And as he's doing this, you see coins flying out of his coin purses on his person, and just kind of flying about. You hear them hitting the floor of the tavern and kind of rolling around all over the place. And he doesn't seem to care. He's just kind of dancing around like a crazy person right now. So,
Grindel, would you like something to eat?
He crashes into a booth in the corner of the tavern, and then once he kind of gathers himself for a second, he's like in a heap when there's coins scattered everywhere, and he goes, "Yes."
Would you like me to help you? Would you like me to help you get up some of your coins and so that you can eat?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna start picking up coins and handing them to him.
Okay. He's still in a crashed heap in the corner in the booth. Like he's pretty much like checking to see if he broke anything right now. Like
Is has the dog had anything to eat?
has the dog had anything to eat? I don't know. Let's determine that. Yeah, the dog he's good. He doesn't need any food right now. So
Gonna
He
sit
is
down and start eating.
although the dog kind of makes his way around to each one of you and kind of nuzzles your hand and makes you like rub on him for a minute, you know. So you think that Jinx probably has a higher intelligence than Grimgrindel does. So all right, so you all sit down and you have some food and you're kind of talking through the game plan here. And Grimgrindel essentially takes this time to montage explaining to you that in order for you all to be able to enter the Feynwild legally and not be considered trespassers, you have to get a license. There's like there's a ranger station here in Karst, and they will provide you with a license. They're quite expensive, and it usually takes about a week of time for them to actually turn around and get you the license back. You can't just go ask for one and they give it to you then and there. And so if you're discovered by rangers while patrolling the Feynwild, you would be arrested actually and thrown into prison for that. They keep that very well guarded essentially. And because it's so dangerous, they won't just let anybody go wandering in through there. So you have to have a wayfinder with you who has a license to do that. So he's going to have to go get the license. It's going to take about a week. During that time, he suggests that you all get rested up. It's going to be a difficult journey. He says you should also stock up on plenty of rations. Make sure that you bring clean water, warm clothes, quality tools. Make sure your weapons are, sharpened and your armor's polished, because there's no telling what all you could run into once you guys enter the Feynwild. He also mentions to you not to worry about horses or wagons or anything like that. The entire journey will need to be made on foot, because in the Feynwild, a horse is a massive liability and probably is going to die because it's going to twist its leg on a root and fall over and break something anyway. So you don't want to take horses. You got to do this whole thing on foot.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. So essentially at this point, you're going to have a week of downtime to spend. So we'll just kind of go through what everybody kind of sent to me here as their downtime. So, we'll start with you, Skriz. You're wanting to go check out what it's been about a week since the Fleshmaster told you that you could return to him in a week and that he would let you know his availability as far as looking into getting a magical tattoo.
Well, let's head that direction then.
Okay, so you head back to this kind of hidden location, which is kind of in this like seedy back alley underneath a residential area or whatever. And you go up to the door and you knock on the door and you see this tiny little slit in the door kind of opens. Yes.
I spoke with you a week ago. And,
yes, come in. And the door opens.
All right then.
As soon as you open the door, you smell these really like you've never smelled them before. They're very unique smells. You don't know what it is. It smells like some kind of like a fragrance of some kind of herb burning or something in there, but you're not. It's completely foreign to you. You walk in, and there are beaded like tapestries kind of hanging from all the walls. This space is maybe 300 square foot, and it looks like this guy lives, eats, works, does everything in this just kind of like very, very small like room.
Nice.
The guy that is talking to you is very, very thin, and he is essentially just wearing some shorts, and that's like all he has on. He has no tattoos on himself, but you see that in the room there's an area with like kind of a cot, and there are some tools that have kind of a cover over them. Over kind of, it looks like the area where he works, like that's his workplace or whatever, but you can't really see all of his utensils and stuff. You'll come in, you'll sit down, and he pulls over kind of a really raggedy stool for you to sit down.
All right, I'll have a seat.
What you want?
Just wanted to see Yes, I want a tattoo.
Give you a tattoo.
All
Every
right.
time you go to talk, he like starts like talking over you, like before you even get a chance to get much of a word out. So,
Okay.
uh,
Options?
oh, you want tattoo? I get you tattoo. And so he shows you that these beaded tapestries that are on the wall are essentially what the tattoos that he can make for you are.
Okay.
Okay. And they're all essentially like animals, right? So that's kind of his thing, right? He specializes in animals. Okay. And he goes through the process of explaining to you that he can do a tattoo on your arms, or he can do a tattoo on your legs. He can do a tattoo on your chest, or he can do a tattoo on your back. And you can pick one of those. So you can do like your right arm, you can do one tattoo on that. But the tattoos that he does kind of take up that whole space. So that's essentially like an equipment slot, if you will. Okay. And then you can only have one of a tattoo. Like you can't get the effects of it multiple times. So like
Right.
if you get one tattoo on this arm, it doesn't like compound if you get another of the same tattoo on your other arm or something
Gotcha.
like that, if that makes sense. Okay. And so here's pretty much the tapestries that he has in his room. Let's see if I can get this. Okay. And then the prices for them. So if you want a tattoo for your arm or for your leg, it costs you 1,250 gold pieces. And he explains to you, ink very expensive, very special ink. And so you could get a boar, which will increase your constitution by 2. Swallow does dex by 2. Bear does strength by 2. You could get a dragonfly tattoo, which allows you to cast Misty Step once per long rest. It's essentially a 30-foot teleport, instantaneous teleport. Like you just teleport somewhere within 30 feet of where you are.
Gotcha.
You could get a stag tattoo, which keeps you from being surprised while conscious. You cannot be surprised while conscious. And it also makes it to where creatures cannot get advantage against you if they're hidden. So they pretty much like can't sneak attack you. You could also have a wolf tattoo, which gives you like a permanent +5 bonus to your initiative. Okay. So you could combine those however you wanted, but each one of those is going to take a week to get. So like, since you only have a week right now, you can pretty much only pick one tattoo, right?
Gotcha.
And that's assuming that you want to pay that amount for that bonus, right? You could also pay twice that amount, 2,500, and he offers 3 different possible tattoos that could go on either your back or your chest. Okay, so they're larger tattoos, but they have more powerful effects. You could get a phoenix, and its effect is kind of unique in that if you would ever fall to 0 hit points, you instead can expend hit dice immediately and heal for the amount that you would roll on your hit dice. You can choose how much hit dice. And then you also deal half that amount in fire damage to all enemies that are within 10 feet.
Wow.
So it's like a rebirth explosion kind of thing, right? But it can only be done if you have hit dice to expend. So essentially it's like you can only do it until you run out of hit dice, essentially.
Right.
You could get a tortoise, which gives you bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage you take from non-magical sources is reduced by 3. So anytime anything hits you that's not magical, you would reduce the damage by 3 points. If it's bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing. Okay. And then there's a carp, which is when an ally you can see within 30 feet of you rolls a 1 on a d20, so they fumble. On an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can use your reaction for that round to let them re-roll that die, and you can only do that once per long rest. So you would pretty much negate a fumble for one of your other party members once per long rest.
Gotcha.
And so you can see what all these kind of tapestries look like. You know, it's essentially you're looking at the book of tattoos that this guy can do.
Well,
I will let you process that, and I will move around to the other party members while you're kind of figuring out
sounds
what.
good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. So Adam, you have turned into a street preacher, have you not?
You mean like out preaching?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like in the streets, you are spreading the good word of Nectar.
That's
Yes.
right.
And Nectharizin is the most followed god in all the realms. Nectharizin was very important during the war against the necromancers, and has kind of become like the rock star god recently. And so you are getting lots of people are there to listen to you preach on the tenets of Nectharizin, and you are getting a pretty good number of people that are actually donating and tithing to you in the name of Nectharizin, and wanting to see him continue to grow as an important figure across the realms of humanity here. So let's see. We're gonna do. So you actually get 68 gold in tithes over the course of a week, which is a lot.
It is.
That's probably the most that you've ever gotten in preaching the name of Nectharizin. Now, you probably, have a code where you are going to, as soon as you get the chance to go to a temple or something like that, you would give that to them to, to help with whatever it is that they need or whatever for the betterment of Nectharizin, or you may use that to further your cause in your god's name, whatever you deem is appropriate. But I'm sure that there's a code to that.
I know we talked about it. I've been to this local temple, right?
You have. It's very small. The temple in Karst is very small. Very nice. They do a good job, but it's kind of a they don't have a lot here in Karst, which is kind of the case for all of the establishments in Karst, because it's kind of a backwaters. Everything's made out of wood, and they're kind of on the edge of humanity. So
In my conversations with the priests there, or whatever they're calling themselves,
Mhm.
where do they send a portion back to Vesa?
They do. They do. And as you recall, the Temple of Nectharizin that's in Vesa is probably the most elaborate building that you've ever stepped foot in. They are swimming in money. So they are not hurting for funds in Vesa.
So High Priest Lucian Argosti may get part of this money then, right?
If you were to send that money back to Vesa, yes, he would probably.
No. If I give it to this priest, and he would send it at some point under an obligation to send it back to Vesa, part of it anyway.
Yeah, you would know that they probably have a system in place where they keep the mass majority of tithes that come to their individual temple, but pretty much anytime anybody gives any money, part of it is going to go back to the overall working expenses of the main temple, which is the one in Vesa. That's the primary temple of Nectharizin. So as you recall, it had like a big copper bowl over the top, and it shone very brightly, and
I remember it quite well.
yeah, elaborate gardens and all that nasty stuff. So
In places I couldn't go.
he locked the doors in that place.
I'll give 40 gold pieces to the temple when I'm done for the week.
Okay. The head priest at the temple, whose name escapes me right now, will tell you that will go a long way towards making some needed renovations to the temple, and also to feeding the poor and providing some shelter to those who have kind of fallen on hard times right now. So you feel that money is going to a really good cause.
Outstanding.
In your time as a street preacher, you have bumped up against some other street preachers, and for the most part, everything has been congenial. Everything's okay. Everybody kind of gives everybody else their space. But you have noticed that there is another priest of Nectharizin who has been preaching in the square, and something is up about him. There's something that you don't like, something that he is just something is wrong, and you're not sure what it is. You can't really place what it is. he is taking tithes, and he is girding himself in lots of jewelry and fine clothing. And he also has 3 kind of henchmen that hang out with him. And it seems like they're kind of bullying people into, into like giving them their money. So it's like a a televangelist or whatever. Like they're using lots of psychological manipulation and things of that nature. So you just know by the tenets of Nectarism that they're not going about things the right way.
I'll approach him.
Every time that you've tried to approach him, he would immediately back away and disengage from you. So if he's preaching and you kind of approach him while he's preaching, he would immediately, wrap it up, stop, pack his things, and they would leave. So there's something about him being confronted by you that is that they are not willing to engage with you.
Okay.
This has kind of been haunting you a little bit over the course of the week. It's gotten worse and you've seen it. If it was a one-time thing, but it hasn't gotten any better. So.
And he just won't come near me, huh?
Yeah. So, and anytime you would do that, where you would kind of come towards the priest, you would notice that, the 3 goons would kind of put their hand on their weapons and kind of, pat their weapons, and they'd kind of side eye one another and look at you. And they've got kind of this like grimace on their face. Like, you're messing with the wrong people. You better back off.
Well, I'll walk right up to them and
yeah.
So who are you?
And they will not, and they don't even engage with you on that. They just kind of, and they might spit on the ground and then kind of turn and walk away.
Rude.
Yeah.
How rude.
So that kind of goes on over the course of the week. Cinia, you are looking to.
Sounds like I need help from some friends.
Right. Yeah. You are looking to find some training in Arcana. Is that correct? So you, give me just a second here. Let me pull up some documentation. You would know that Lord Karos had a good friend of his from the Scholia come and check out some artifacts. And let's see, I've got to find this. Browsing, loading. Malcor was the really old man who looked into the shard of metal that you all had found, and he is actually still in Karst currently, and he agrees that he would be happy to work with you, because he knows that as friends of Lord Karos, which he was as well, that you all are good people, and that his training will not be in vain. Okay, normally he would not do that. You're not a student of the Scholia. You're not at the academy. But as a service to his good friend Lord Karos, who has passed on now at the hands of the terrible Lord Crow King, he would be happy to work with you for the week. So by the end of the week, you'll have one of the 4 necessary weeks of training in Arcana. Okay. And let's see here, Mad Eye, you're interested in learning how to use a poison maker's kit, right?
Right.
So how would you, is there anything that you could think of that you would like do in order to try to make that happen?
Maybe seek out an apothecary.
Okay. Is it possible that you might mention your desire to Grimgrindel?
Oh, that would make sense.
Okay.
I'm sure he would know where an apothecary is, or somebody that could.
Yeah. Well, Grimgrindel strikes you as the type who kind of walks the line between the seedy individuals in the city and those who are, are good. And
right.
So, yeah, he would point you to a friend of his, an apothecary friend of his that he would know that could probably offer those services to you. Now you know that while training with somebody, once you obtain it, you kind of the bill comes due, and it would cost you 250 gold, and you would need 4 weeks of training in this. So essentially, you would start your training, but then it would be time for you all to leave for the Feywild, and you would only have about a quarter of it finished, and so you would need to finish it at a later time.
I'll just note that I have 1 week of it.
Okay. Yeah, you go to the apothecary, and they kind of they speak in hushed tones about that type of thing. We don't. But if the price is right, you got to make a living. So. So you'll have a quarter of your training done on you. It's called a poison maker's kit. It's a kit. Yeah, it's not a skill. It's a kit that you're learning how to use, essentially, right? So it has all these little vials and Bunsen burner and things of that nature. So.
All right.
All right, Araya, where are we with the Flesh Master?
Sorry, that's none of your business what he and I do behind closed doors. I'm torn between the Phoenix is a badass thing, and I really want that, but I also would really like to get my dexterity back to 20 from where I lost it because of that stupid deck of cards. So I think overall that'll be more beneficial to get that extra +1 on my dex back. So I'm going to go with the Swallow.
Okay. I kind of knew you would do that. You've always been one to go with the Swallow.
That is true. Spitters or quitters.
That's right. Not the carp. Oh yeah. Well, I thought you might go with the carp because Sean's playing with us, and
that is true.
I was like, I like that carp.
You should have seen in our other campaign the first 15 rolls any of us made were all below 5.
Oh wow.
It was ridiculous.
I don't think I've gotten to a point yet in the video where you guys have had to roll anything yet. So.
Well, that may have been on our session 0, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Either way, it was awful. But yeah, the Swallow is,
okay.
I'm going to go with the Swallow on my right. And it will take my dex back up to level 20.
Okay.
Yay!
All right. And so that'll cost 1250.
All right.
1,250 gold pieces.
I will give him 12 platinums, 50 gold.
Okay. His techniques are interesting. You're tattooed pretty much from head to toe. You got tattoos all over as part of being a monk, right? That's the thing that they did. But this guy does things in a way that you had never even considered that was a way that tattoos would be done. So it's just very, now why he's called the Flesh Master, because he does things in a way that's whoa, okay, yeah, that's much more efficient and smart. And so he spends the week putting this magical tattoo on your arm of a swallow, and it's almost when you look at it, it kind of it's almost like the bird moves, when you look at it the right way and you change the angle of it. So it's very cool. It's a very magical tattoo. So.
Rip the right arm off of my tuxedo so that way everybody can see it.
When you flex your muscle, it flaps its wings.
You don't want to cover that up. I understand. All right, so your week goes by. You are fronted the cost of rooms at the Piss and Whistle and food for the entire course of the week by Celine and Emil. So they are making sure that you're taken care of and well rested and well fed before you leave the safety of humanity, essentially. And a week goes by. If there are any goods that you intend to stock up on, you can do that. Miscellaneous and sundry items at any time when you're, downtime in a city, you can do that stuff. So anything that's in the book that's a miscellaneous item, essentially, you can purchase as many rations as you might want: rope, pythons, water, backpacks, tent,
Speaking of water, I still have those. Hold on. The palette of dust dryness. That's 6 of them.
Oh, the pellets. Yeah.
I said pallet. The
Yeah.
pellets. Yes, it's a
Yeah.
pallet. You push it around with a forklift.
Yeah.
I want to find fresh water with those and
Okay.
get all 6.
Oh, okay. Look at that as a dust. Make sure I remember exactly how those work. Those are the dust of dryness, right?
Yes. I don't remember how many gallons of water it was, but
Yeah, so it turns the water into a pellet,
yes.
and the pellet's weight is negligible. Someone can use an action to smash the pellet against a hard surface, causing the pellet to shatter and release the water that the dust absorb. Doing so will end the pellet's magic. An elemental composed mostly of water is exposed. Okay, that doesn't. All right, so you're pretty much just using the pellets to get a large amount of water.
Yes. Of fresh
15,
water.
15 feet cube of, holy crap.
It's a lot of water.
That is a lot of water. That's a lot of water. Okay, yep. So you're doing all 6 of them?
Yes.
Cool. You got it.
Awesome.
Anybody else?
Small river.
Yeah, seriously. Anybody else buying any items or anything, stocking up on anything?
Just buying 5 days rations.
Okay.
It says I have 10 days rations, but I'm pretty sure I probably would have used those, so I'll just restock them.
Okay.
How much are those in pop? Anybody know?
I want rations too.
I can look at them.
Yeah, so Justin, the platinum gold piece to platinum ratio is only 10. So 1 platinum is only 10 gold.
Told us when we started playing you were doing 100. You remember?
Did I?
It's what you said.
Is it 100? Okay.
Am I right? Am I remembering wrong?
I really should write this down somewhere.
I'm pretty sure that you said it was 100 when we started.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we need to figure that out because if it's not, I can't afford it.
No, we'll do 100.
Okay.
That's good. So yeah, so 100 copper is a silver, 100 silver is a gold, 100 gold is a platinum.
All right, I'm paying for my 10 rations right now.
I'm writing this down. All right, so you guys are fully rested. Hit points are all back. Spells are all back. And you meet back up with Grimgrindle and Jinx in the Piss and Whistle. And he mentions to you that he has a license to enter the Feywild. He shows you the license. It's got all the appropriate signatures and stamps on it that it's supposed to have. And you all are ready to leave for the Feywild to go hunt down the Crow King.
Let's rock and roll.
This is going to go great. It's going to go wonderful. What spell did you take? There you go. I think Nace has that now too.
What is it?
Wall of Fire.
Yeah.
You guys, I love how you're just taking as many fire spells into the woods as you possibly can. That's always going to go well.
Screw them woods.
What's happening in Shambling Mounds?
No, that Wall of Fire is BA for sure. All right, so you guys are making your way through the city and heading towards the North Gate with Grimgrindle and Jinx. You come to a square, kind of the square that leads to the North Gate of the city and out into the wilderness. And you come across that in all players' journals. Show to players. You come across this fine gentleman. And Nace knows who this man is. And he is preaching in the street. And you see that he has some thugs, some muscle kind of walking around the area. And there's a few people kind of standing around and listening to him talk. And these thugs are, they're carrying around like these money plates, and they're kind of forcing it towards people. And people are, you know, kind of reaching into their purses and putting money in there, and they're, you know, pushing it into their chest, like put more in there. And this man is balding, and he's kind of chunky, and he's got flowing white and red gown that looks rather expensive. He's adorned with ornate jewelry, and he's kind of like wiping sweat from his forehead with a handkerchief that's emblazoned with the symbol of Nick Therzin, as he you know, loudly shouts to the people that are gathered in the square. So
could I get y'all's assistance? I need to speak with this man, but every time I try, he avoids me and leaves. Do you mind helping me surround him?
Absolutely.
So as you guys are kind of talking, figure out what you do, he's you know, still kind of going about his business. He says, "You have angered Nick Therzin, and he's disappointed in each and every one of you. For shame, for shame." And you see kind of the heads of all the people in the audience like, "Yes, we're bad people, yes." He says, "Repent of your evil ways before Nick Therzin sends down holy fire to cleanse you from Tethys. Friends, I offer you salvation. You can become one of the chosen children of Nick Therzin. And all you have to do to be spared from his wrath is tithe your money to his holy priest, myself, for the continued benefit of the one true God. Free yourselves from the bonds of humanity and become one with the Almighty." And he's kind of continuing on with this, and you all are like, "Yeah, this guy is it's a crock of shit." Yeah.
So are they gonna move? I'm gonna put my cloak where it's hard to see and pull it up over my head and stuff and try to hide my armor, and then ask that Araya and Mad Eye go on the other side of him, because he usually goes away from me, to stop him from leaving, and then Cinia can do whatever she likes.
Okay.
What's everybody rolling for?
Oh, it's me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you guys are kind of trying to like get in place around him so you can confront him about this. And one of the goons notices you, and he's got kind of a knowing look in his eye, like he's seen you before. And so he kind of moves to where he's in between you and this priest.
I'm going to throw back my hood and just keep walking.
Try to make it a point to get on the other side of him as quickly as possible.
Okay. At that, the priest kind of notices that something's wrong, and you all can kind of sense that the jig is up at this point. And he kind of is gathering his belonging and dumping all the tithe plates into a little pouch that he has at his side. And you all still kind of manage to work your way around, but these thugs are kind of keeping you from getting really close to him. You've kind of got him pinned in, but these guys are kind of boxing out.
I'm just going to push with my whatever it is, Hill Giant strength. Push the thug in front of me, just not shove him, just kind of put my hand on his chest and start walking forward.
Okay. He's kind of pushing back against you with his weight, but that's obviously not doing a whole lot for him. And he says, "You better watch what you're doing. You're barking up the wrong tree, boy."
I simply want to speak with your priest. Is that a problem?
Yeah,
I have gold.
It's going to be a problem. Yeah.
Well, I'm not afraid of problems. I am a priest of Nick Therzin. I'll be glad to solve them in whatever way that Nick Therzin leads me to.
Well, look, it'd be best if you take your boys and you just go along, right?
I don't think so. Not this time.
And so about this point, you've kind of pushed him to where he's backed up against the priest. And the priest is kind of looking around, and he tries to like make his way out of the crowd and over kind of to where he can get away from you all.
Let's move around and keep that from happening.
Okay.
I simply want to talk. Are you afraid to speak with another priest of Nectaris?
You say that to the priest.
Of course.
Okay. Roll. I need something to. I need like intimidation or diplomacy or something of that nature.
I don't think I have either one of those. Let's see, deception, intimidation. I'm just a big fat 0, whatever. So an 8.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what you do. I'm not that guy.
You're a 0 in everything.
Well, and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All the diplomatic things, charisma based type stuff or whatever. Okay. So he kind of gives you one of those and continues to make his way off. And
Sir, you can either speak with me the easy way, or you'll speak with me the hard way. One way or the other, we will have a discussion.
And he pulls kind of his cowl up over his head and kind of tries to lose himself into the crowd, which he doesn't do a great job of, but he apparently doesn't want to talk to you.
Well,
Yeah,
don't forget I've got my street urchin thing as far as moving through crowds and cities or whatever. So creepy Pope isn't getting far.
Creepy Pope.
How far around are we, like around the guards and stuff?
How, what now?
We were making our way around his guards and stuff to try and flank him. How far did we get? Very far?
They've kind of given up at this point as they see that he's leaving, and so they're kind of going they're kind of tailing behind him.
All right. Well, I'm chasing him.
You gotta remember that there's, you're in the city square. There's city guards. There's a lot of people around. So it's kind of a crowd. It's not super crowded. There's a
I'm
crowd.
gonna yell into the crowd. This man that has been taking your money is no priest of Nectaris. He is a farce. And if he will stop and speak with me and prove me wrong, maybe we will allow him to keep the money that he has taken.
Okay. So
I want to join in as if I know something and start yelling, "Heretic! He stole your money! Heretic!"
So you're Adam's hype man right now, right? You're like, yeah, what he said. Right, yeah. Okay. So do this then, Adam and Newton. Both of you make me a diplomacy. Persuasion.
13, lucky number 13.
13. Okay. Waiting on Newton's roll with bated breath here.
Newt may do better than me. Yeah, he's the one that should be speaking, not me.
You gotta use the hard words.
Okay. Yeah.
So get them every time.
The two of you together, it seems like you've kind of convinced a large portion of the crowd that they've just, been had by this individual, and they're not very happy about it. They're, what do? We need to get our money back. This guy, we're not going to let him. And at that point, a guard comes over and says, all right, this is enough rebel rousing. We're done. Let's break it up. Go your separate ways.
In the city?
Yeah.
City guard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that man is taking money from these people. He's not a priest of Nectaris, but he's preaching. I am a priest of Nectaris. Do you recognize me?
I do. Yes. I've seen you around these parts before. You're right.
I have a spell that will force him to speak the truth.
We don't allow spell casting here.
You don't allow spell casting
Not that kind of stuff. No, take that to your temple.
As you wish.
So it seems like the guard is like, he could tell that there was like some conflict starting to kind of bubble up, and that you guys were kind of like rousing up the people in the crowd, and you were about to cause a problem for him. So he's breaking it up, kind of thing. So
I'm going to walk around him.
Okay.
These people are starting to bother me. I'm going right for the priest. I'm gonna chase him till I catch him.
Okay. Perception. And if you all are assisting with that, make rolls with that as well. Perception checks.
Ooh, I have kisses on that.
I perceive.
Newton sees the thing.
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
I do not.
18.
Okay. Yeah, you make out this guy. He's maybe half a block away from you at this point. He's trying to like pretty quickly move through the crowd, but he's an older man, so he can't move, super quick. But you see him, and you guys, do you all go together, kind of beeline towards him?
Sure.
Dashing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. You all get to him.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Yeah, and you notice that there's a few like townsfolk that are like following in behind you, like, yeah, let's get our money back.
As we go, I want to just keep stirring the pot. He took your money. He's
We're gonna
buying jewelry
get
with
arrested before we get out of town.
Okay.
it. Get that dandy bastard.
Dandy. Okay, 1 second. Let's see here. You could, yeah. I mean, you could confront him with that, and so
help, and I'll give him a really bad review.
So Newton, how about a performance check?
Okay.
Because you're trying to like you're playing into your charisma here to try to rouse these guys up. Oh God.
So when you're starting shit,
23.
I need you to kill things. You roll ones.
You have the crowd, Newton, in the palm of your hand. You could tell them anything right now, and they're pretty much going to go with it. So
I just want to try and convince them to encircle him and just start chasing him down.
Okay. Yep, they do. Like this crowd of people, like when you catch up to him, you guys don't even have to do anything. This crowd of people just kind of encircles around him. You worry that maybe you went a little too far because you're like, oh shit, they might like kill this guy in the street or something. Like they're it's a little much. Okay, like so let's take it back a step. Cynia says that she wants to use her intimidation on the priest here to. So what is the ultimate goal? What are we trying to do?
Finding out like who he is and
Okay.
what he's trying to do.
Okay.
I'm casting as I run up, I'm casting Zone of Truth.
Okay.
10.
A 10. Okay. So Zone of Truth, what does that do?
Within 15 feet of me, no lies can be spoken.
Okay. All right. So you're in his face and you're like, who are you and what are you trying to do? And he tells you, he goes, I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud. And here, and he starts like grabbing money and out of this perch that he has, and he's like flinging it at the people that have kind of encircled him. And he's just like very quickly emptying his purse, and he takes it and turns it over and just dumps it in the street. And all these people immediately start just like diving on top of these coins. Like he's creating a lot of chaos in doing that. And he says, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I won't do it again. I'm a fraud. I apologize.
Who are you?
Just a street urchin. That's all. I'm not affiliated with Nectharism at all. It's got out of hand.
Take off the priestly robes.
Yes. And he starts trying to take off the robes, and he's kind of a rotund fellow, so the thugs are helping him, and they take him off, and they
those are sweet. Those are sweet thugs.
Yeah. So and they kind of forcefully push it into your arms. Is that what you wanted? You've embarrassed me. I can't.
What were you doing with the money?
Well, look at me. And he shows you like all this like jewelry and stuff and finery that he's wearing.
I'd like to grab the money off of him and start handing it back out to the people.
Food and
food on the ground.
And whores and gambling.
You should go to the Temple of Nectharism right now and repent your sins.
Yes, I will do that.
And do you gentlemen, I'm gonna look at the thugs. Why were you being paid by this man?
And they kind of scowl at you. Yes.
I'm going to hand them each 2 gold pieces and say, why don't you take a couple days and just stay away from him?
Okay, that's going to be another persuasion or diplomacy or whatever you want to roll there.
I get a +2 for 2 gold pieces.
There is a bonus. Mathematically, you're not going to know what it is.
Okay, I'm just messing with you.
There is a series of things at work right now. So
18.
okay, all right. Well, thanks. Yeah, I think we'll do that. And they all kind of look at each other and nod and agree.
Is there? He doesn't have any symbols of Nectarizan, does he? This man.
He had like a handkerchief that had it emblazoned on it, and he probably has like a holy symbol on him somewhere. You know, like a ritual casting agent or whatever.
Okay. Oh, so he can cast spells?
You don't know.
Okay. Don't want to find out.
No,
okay.
you know he's not that strong.
I'm coming. We'll be back in tomorrow, and
Hey, wait a second.
I'll be
Are
What?
you affected by the zone of truth?
Oh yeah, but I am. I don't know. Yes,
Okay, you don't know when
we'll be back. We'll be back, and when I come back here to Karst, you had better not be in the streets preaching again. Otherwise, you will suffer another confrontation.
Yes, of course. Yes, you've ruined me. You've ruined. And he's like down on his knees, like he's got tears running down his face.
I'm
He's
gonna
in his
go ahead and take
underwear.
all his jewelry.
He's in his underwear. Okay, you can take his jewelry from him. He'll give it to you. Like, please, I don't want to fight. Just go.
All that bling. With all that bling in my
Yeah.
hand right now.
So
I take 5 gold pieces,
Uh-huh.
and I get on one knee and look him in the and have it say, "Look at me."
and he
And I
does.
put the 5 gold pieces in his hand. You are a brilliant orator. I think that you should go to the Temple of Nectarizan and talk with the high priest. And maybe you might have a future as a priest to spread the good word of Nectarizan.
Yes,
I think you should do that. Is that something you think you might want to do?
maybe. Yes, I will. I will look into that.
He's still in the family trip or whatever.
Right. And that's it.
Okay.
I'm going to take the robes and kind of throw them off to the side.
Okay.
And I'm going to firebolt them until they are gone.
Okay. They immediately just erupt into up into flames and start burning, and yeah. Okay.
That's it. So it's blasphemy for the day.
Yes. Snuffing out those that would use the name of Nectarizan. All right. So you guys, you turn after dealing with this guy, and you see that Jinx has he is dual wielding in one hand a pair of rather large roasted chicken legs. No, Grimgrindel is. Sorry, Grimgrindel is.
So it's like, I'm impressed.
He's got like two pretty large roasted chicken legs that he has purchased from somewhere, and he's got like there's bits of chicken and grease. No, they're both in one hand. He's got 2 in one hand. Yeah, and he's got like bits of chicken and grease all over his face. And so he's kind of like watching you all like it's a play or something. while he's like taking bites of this chicken, and then the other one every few seconds he'll kind of reach it over to Jinx, and Jinx will take like a big chomp out of the other one that he's got. So are we ready?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
we're done here. Let's get going.
And he looks at Araya, and he's kind of looking at you, and he's like, "You got some new ink there."
I do. Do you like it?
That's right.
I'm gonna kind of flex it at him, make the swallow wiggle a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little girly for me. Gonna
Oh,
be
but I got it. I got it just to impress you, though. Shit.
He holds up the chicken legs. You chicken?
Hang
Like
on.
he's offering it to you.
Yes, I'll take some chicken.
Okay. You can't really see a place where he hasn't already bitten or where Jinx hasn't left like a big wad of like slobber on the chicken legs. So you kind of pick around and
Sure.
you know, okay.
Very
Okay.
small piece.
You guys make your way to the north gate. The guards remind you that if you're headed north from Karst, that there's not shit up there. And if you're crazy enough to enter into the Feywild, you'll need to have a license. And Grimgrindel goes about the process of showing that to the guards. He tells you that the journey to the Feywild is about 50 miles. It's a couple days journey to get to the Feywild from here. So, and you all start your journey north of the city. It's only a couple hours before it starts to snow, which is a pretty common occurrence in these parts. And you're traveling along. The day goes fine. You stop and have some food. You continue on. Journey is going fine, and then you stop to make camp for the night. And so you kind of find a spot off to the side of the road that looks like a good like clearing where you'll kind of be out of the way. If some beasties are passing by, they're not going to really notice you in this little copse. And you have this feeling that something is watching you while you're setting up camp. Like you've just got this like sneaking suspicion that there's something that's keeping an eye on you while you're setting up camp. So Jinx, the entire time that you guys are kind of getting ready, has got this like he's just aware of something, but he's not sure what's going on kind of thing. And you guys have set up camp and you're trying to determine who is going to keep first watch, second watch, so on and so forth. So who will keep first watch for the party?
I will.
Okay. So Araya is going to keep first watch. How about second watch?
I'll go second.
Okay. And third?
Me.
Okay. And fourth? All right. And Grimgrindel is going to sleep the night away because he is the Wayfinder and it's not his job to keep watch. So you would also notice that he has pocketed his 2 chicken bones and they are sticking out of one of his pouches on his hip. So he's got 2 greasy chicken bones just hanging out. Greasy chicken bones. Greasy chicken bones. You guys have made your way out of Karst. I guess I missed the opportunity for that art, didn't I? That's some cool art, though. The art that I put up there. Oh, you guys can't see it. Yeah. I got to move you along. Here we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that picture. It's cool.
That is cool.
Oh.
That's looking back at Karst.
Yep.
What a shithole.
Should firewall the gates. Let's get rid of this place.
All right. That is yep. What is what's the free D20 thing?
3D20.
Free like when you make
Oh, gotcha.
in a what is it called?
I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. I know what
Shit,
you're
I
talking
can't remember what it's called. My D&D brain just completely left me. Inspiration. You get inspiration for that, Newton.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Inspiration. You remember how inspiration works? Do you remember how Dungeons and Dragons works, Scott? It's
Wait,
been a
wait,
hot
wait.
minute.
What are we playing?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I ever knew.
This is
Thought
the
we were-
worst game of Risk I have ever played.
Thought we were playing Uno.
When do we
Okay.
pass go?
Perception check from you, Araya.
Let's perceive some stuff and some things. If it's there, I'm pretty sure I perceive.
You saw the shit out of it. You did. One moment here while I doctor some things because you all are change some circumstances
He's-
of what is
he's
about to happen.
scarred because he saw the shit come out of it.
One moment, please. Buffering. Buffering. And then that goes.
No, I did.
Okie dokie. Let's move you to this. And then. And then you guys have completely borked, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Reveal areas. There you go. All right, you guys see how you're in the little copse of trees here?
I don't see
Mhm.
anything.
That's your encampment. Okay. Yeah, you guys are asleep except for Araya there. So Araya, you see off to the east a little ways towards the road. You see a man wandering down the road with a torch in his hand, and it would appear to you that it is the priest.
Say it loud enough to hopefully wake people up. Guys, we got company.
Okay. Yeah, you all would hear it.
I think it's the priest. What have you done, Adamantine?
No, when I wake up and Araya asks me that, I'm simply going to say, as I was guided to do by Nick Thurston.
And you see that he's like very slowly and potentially drunkenly wandering down the road to the north. He's in his underwear, and you see that he has a mace. He looks very cold, and he is drinking probably liquor from like a wineskin and holding a torch.
Goodness gracious. I'm going to walk out.
Okay.
I'll follow.
Greetings.
But you're the one. And
I am.
And he throws his torch on the ground and
Uh-huh.
grabs his mace with both hands and starts kind of like drunkenly running towards you. So
Okay.
an initiative.
Turns out he's a storm giant. I actually have a dex on this character. Cool.
Oh, the turn order thing was that one. Oh, it took it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. I'm in there twice though for some
Yep.
reason.
Yep, he is. Well, I mean, he is attacking Adam.
I got my big fat 12.
We roll initiative too if we're not over there.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Araya, what's your initiative?
Oh, it's 9.
9. Okay. Cinia, you are up first. You've just been woken up. It's cold. You're like, really? This is why I'm awake right now?
I'm trying to. I'm changing it. spell.
It's a great time to bust out a new spell. Wall of fire.
Quick turn to a bug.
Polymorph him.
I'm going to delay my action
Yeah,
until
I don't have that spell, but he gets to go before I do.
it's like being hurt or something.
Otherwise, I would attempt something.
When
like
that happens, what will you do? You have to specify.
Um,
Will you-
cast Crown of Madness on the attacker.
Okay. All right. So if the priest attacks somebody in your party, you will cast Crown of Madness on them. Okay. Got it. Well, it's the priest's turn. He is drunkenly stumbling towards Adam and is going to attack him. So cast your spell. Hmm?
It's a something.
It's a save, right? A wisdom save, if I'm not mistaken.
Wisdom.
What's he got to beat?
16.
He does not beat it. Okay, so you all see this guy like swinging this mace around and trying to hit Adam with it. And then all of a sudden he gets this glowing fire in his eyes and this crown starts to kind of take place on his head. It kind of like grows out of his head, these iron nodes. And what does this do now?
Probably gonna kill him.
I mean, he can attack something that I mentally choose.
Okay. So you're essentially controlling his turn.
Mhm.
Okay. He is standing there dumbfounded then? There's not really another target for him to, like there's no other enemies.
I'm gonna move him back to the road.
Okay. He kind of turns around and like dumbfoundedly drools as he walks back out into the road, creating an even further confusing situation. Adam, your turn.
I'm gonna go tie his hand, take the mace away from him, and tie his hands behind his back.
Okay. One moment.
You're looking that up. You remember Anderson Silva went all floppy leg against Chris Weidman back in the day?
Yep.
Chris Weidman just went all floppy leg tonight on somebody else. Exact same situation.
Oh my gosh. Wasn't it just like a leg kick or something? Like
Yeah, just a checked leg kick, and the leg kept wrapping around the guy's leg after it was checked.
on your subsequent turns, you can use your action to maintain control of the target. Target can make a wisdom saving throw at the end of each of its turns. Okay. It's kind of a goofy situation here. All right, so Adam, what you're essentially you're grappling this guy, right? But he
Well,
is
just if he's dumbfounded and defenseless, I'm just gonna take the mace and kind of throw it in the ground and
so
start tying him up.
you see what exactly the charmed condition does here. Charmed creature can attack the charmer or target the charmer. The charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. So yeah, he's not going to let you just tie him up. So you would have to grapple him, I think. Okay. So since you're grappling, you go dex, and he gets to pick either strength or dex, right? Or do you get
I
to
go dex?
Yeah. Let's see.
Or grapple? That was strength.
You grab a creature. You can use the attack action to make a special melee attack. If you're able to make multiple attacks, okay. The target of your grapple must be no more than one size larger than you and must be within your reach. Using at least one free hand, you try to seize the target by making a grapple check instead of an attack roll. Strength check contested by the target's strength or dex. Okay, yeah, so it's strength. Sorry.
17.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be the most dexterous right now. So you grab his arms and hold them behind his body.
Okay.
Hi.
Ask Araya to tie his hands behind his back, I guess.
Okay. Well,
Right.
he is grappled. There's nothing he can do about it. So you pretty easily. Do you have some rope to do that with?
I do.
Okay. All right. Newton, is there anything you want to do?
It's like you guys have it well in hand.
Okay.
Oh.
Literally. Okay.
Right.
Well,
Bring him back to the fire.
okay. We are out of combat then because he no longer is a threat to you. So we will not continue to run this as if it were combat rounds.
Why are you walking down the road in the middle of the night drunk?
I was to come in and act my revenge on you.
Oh, I see.
You ruined me.
How'd you know which way to go?
I saw you leave.
I see. You do know it's kind of dangerous out here by yourself wandering in the night in your underwear.
What? I'm not in my underwear. You're in your underwear.
I see. All right.
Maybe-
Throw a blanket over him because I don't want to look at him
Okay.
anymore.
All right.
So
Okay. You at this point, Grim Grindle snores really loudly and then rolls over. Oh wait, no, that was Jinx. Okay.
Yeah.
The rest of the night passes without any issue. In the morning, you all wake up and the priest is drunkenly crashed out next to the tree.
I'll just leave him here.
I guess he's not far from town. He could probably find his way back. Okay.
He appears to have pissed himself at some point.
I'm definitely leaving him here.
I'm not
Okay.
cleaning that up.
All right. So you're gonna let him find his way back on his own. Do you leave him any food or water?
Yeah, of course. I'll give him give him some food. Leave him a day's rations and rations and I guess I don't know where you put water unless you're gonna leave a wineskin.
Oh, we could arrange it to where he's as not thirsty as he wants to be. I could.
Let's
We can give him 15 cubic feet of water all at one time.
He can take a bath.
yeah. I'm
I
gonna write a little note on a piece of paper saying you should return back to Karst.
okay. All right. Bold presumption that he can read, but okay. Okay. So you guys pack up your stuff. Grim Girdle is like, it's time to get on the road. And you all start traveling.
I'm gonna look at Grimgrindle and point down at the unconscious priest. Did you not hear that last night?
What and he goes, he says, this is gonna be an interesting journey, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Can already tell.
You can see he's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, whatever. Let's go. and you guys continue on down the road. Most of the day passes uneventfully until you come to a kind of a snow-covered open area with trees surrounding kind of this grotto. And you hear that there is the sounds of what might be combat or some kind of ruckus coming from that area. And Grimgrindel motions that you all should kind of quietly make your way to see what's going on over there.
I'll attempt it.
Okay. You feel like you're pretty far away from what's going on. You all kind of half sneak your way over this little hillock and look over into this area where this grotto of trees is, and you notice that there is one of these. That's what it is.
Only one of these.
Only one of them.
What are those?
I don't have this thing in here. I thought I had it in here. There is a white dragon.
Like
that
dragon,
has
dragon?
a dragon.
I agreed to dungeons tonight. I didn't agree to dragons.
There is a white dragon, and it appears to be caught in a trap by one of its legs. And Grimgrindel points to the opposite direction of where this dragon is and says, "Do you see over there? Those are poachers. They've caught a dragon." So you look over to where he says there's poachers, and it looks like there's some pretty road-worn looking individuals who kind of live out in the wilderness, and they've got like animal furs and stuff for clothing, and they have bows over their shoulders, and they are freaking the fuck out right now.
They bit off more than they can chew, it looks like.
Absolutely, they did.
What kind of trap is it?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's like some like rusty chain thing that they've got somehow like wrapped around this dragon's leg, and the dragon is freaking out, and it's like pulling at this and like trying to like break free from it. A few moments go by where you kind of see it struggling with this, and it stops and kind of turns its face in the direction of where the poachers are, and it just roars this ungodly like "Rah!" And they're like "Ah!" And at that you see them all start to like scurry off, like they just run away.
I was just gonna suggest they leave anyway, but they left. So
Didn't it shoot its breath attack at him?
No, it did not shoot its breath attack at them.
Can I?
we should have brought that guy with us.
The priest.
No reason for them.
It would have been perfect for this. Hey, go down there and get that thing. Use its breath weapon in order to do better.
Big is this dragon?
Well, we're a lot closer than I thought we were.
Yeah, you're not that close. You're more back in here. This dragon
20,
is
30 feet.
it's about 15 by 15.
Oh, that's size, huh?
It's a pretty good sized dragon, yeah.
I'm going to I never have really figured out the languages in this world, so all I know is common.
Mhm.
So
I actually speak giant.
Talk to him.
yeah, I'm gonna walk out and may we assist you.
So you're like out here like this.
Oh, yeah.
The dragon appears to not be fluent in common.
I'm gonna go next to him and I'm gonna say the same thing, but in giant.
Okay, so Cinia is also moving forward. Like you guys are all like, "Hey, dragon! Hey, dragon.
Hey,
Ooga booga.
Yeah.
I can speak Draconic.
Giant doesn't seem to have done anything, but
Does she speak Draconic?
she does speak Draconic, yes.
Oh yeah.
And,
Well,
and
ask him if we can help.
Draconic seems to do it as what do you say to the dragon?
Can we be of assistance?
The dragon responds to you, and the rest of you can't understand what this is. It all sounds like snakes talking to one another at this point. But the dragon responds to you and says, "Yes, you'll be of assistance. Once I get out of this trap, you'll serve as a nice snack."
We didn't set the trap. I just want to help you get free.
And he roars in your direction.
Look at Mad Eye and say, I don't think this conversation's going very well.
Maybe we should just leave him there and he can figure out what to do for himself.
And you see the dragon kind of like pull with this great lunge, and you see that there are links in the chain that are about to snap.
You may want to.
Shit.
I'm gonna look over at Mad Eye and say, look over at Mad Eye and Cynia, I don't think we should be standing this close together right now.
I don't think we should be standing anywhere near here right now.
I want to hide.
I have this.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh, there's the turn order.
Just like that, huh?
I'm gonna hide behind Grimgrindle.
You remember I tried to negotiate.
It's one with shadows.
What does that do?
I can take my action to become invisible.
Okay. You are invisible. Okay. So the turn order is up. This creature is still connected to this trap, like it's around his leg, and it's stopping him from being able to fly away. Does anybody have Arcana?
Working on
Like
it.
you're
I got-
trained in the
I got
Arcana
one
skill?
quarter of it.
No.
Nobody?
Yeah, +2, but no. It's just because I'm smart.
Sure.
Good,
Like you're
negative
not
one.
actually trained in Arcana. Okay.
Mm-mm.
With my plus 0.
Okay. So punch in your initiatives here.
7.
So the reason that we're going to initiative here is because this beast is probably about to break out of this thing, and it is very aggressively moving in your direction. Like as soon as it breaks free from this, it's coming after you all, and you all can tell that. No amount of cajoling is going to fix the situation. So
Damn poachers.
Sounds like I need some points.
Don't want to lie.
what is happening over there?
They're speaking Slytherin to each other.
Right.
What? He talks in his sleep.
Or some time. Like it.
All right. Newton, you are up.
I'm going to hide.
Okay.
I'm going to hide and then I'm going to hide.
Okay.
So 30, these hexes or these squares are 5 feet, right?
5 feet. Right.
15, 20. Oh yeah, I can do that ruler thing.
So that, remember, you have a little ruler, so you can
Yeah. I'm gonna go like over here, hide behind a tree.
Okay. You're tucked away behind a tree. It's not a very big tree, but it's better than being standing out in the middle of nowhere. And that's your sneak.
Yeah, that's my stealth.
Okay. All right. Araya, you are up.
Go attack it.
Well,
You're
Well,
dexterous.
shit.
Go punch him.
I just thought of something was kind of funny.
Do the kung fu thing.
Stay far away.
I'm just gonna be standing here with the dragon gets loose by myself.
Are you scared?
Yeah.
Justin's just gonna come stand in the middle of the open area.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna kind of move away from everybody else.
Okay.
Don't be too close to me.
So let me point out, I think you only moved your base speed. If you dash, you get to move double your speed. So if you don't intend on doing anything else and you're just trying to move as far as you can, that's how
Yeah.
you.
Gotcha. Yeah, I moved over to where I moved it more.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. All right. So the dragon, the naming conventions used here are not accurate. Let's fix that. And then let's see here. He's going to make a strength check.
25.
Buffering. No, he's really not as strong as you would think he is, actually. I mean, he's strong, don't get me wrong, but.
I bet he's stronger than me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, he breaks free. He wanted to break free, and now he has broken free. And then.
To escape and leave. Fly, be free.
So he yanks really hard, and you hear this chain snap, and you see like rusty metal links kind of go flying from this trap that had been on the ground that this dragon had accidentally stumbled upon somehow.
I was going to run up to him and use mending to try to keep it on there.
Oh, that would have been a smart use of that. And then let's see, 30-foot
Maybe.
cone, right?
While he bites me and claws me to death.
He has no idea.
Yeah, thank you.
Fire and ice.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, Adam.
You take this much damage.
Ooh.
3 Is it
Yeah.
what kind of save is it?
Constitution saving throw.
Con is mighty +2 +3 with that luck stone. 20. So I take 24 points of damage.
24 points of ice damage.
Nice.
As everything in a 30-foot cone is coated in ice.
Ow!
It is not. He is just out of reach of it.
Out of reach of what?
Grimgrindel is just out of reach of the frost breath.
Oh, good.
Since he's a white dragon, is it vanilla ice?
Mhm.
And then it is Grimgrindel's turn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Grimgrindel is going to run up into the fray. Grimgrindel has a dagger drawn.
Funny.
And then Jinx barks after Grimgrindel and comes running up beside you as well, Adam. They are going to die fighting this dragon next to you.
They are.
Your turn, Adam.
No. Dang it. Okay, that's not what I was hoping. Let's see if I can. I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Get right there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to wall of fire
I was gonna do.
Okay.
in a circle around me,
In a circle around you. What's the radius on that?
20 feet.
Watch this, boys.
Actually,
So you're
Hold
going to
on.
trap yourself in there with him?
Dragon pointing in.
perfect.
Okay. Now, what does that do? Is it
Well-
diameter or is it radius?
Diameter.
Hold on. Let me read.
Oh, it's 20-foot diameter.
Yeah.
So 20-foot diameter would be a 10-foot radius, right?
Yeah, that's what we were hoping for.
That's much less impressive, but no less effective.
Hold on, let me make sure I want to be standing there though. Second.
Well,
Maybe
I
just-
Make the fire be on the inside or the outside.
yeah, I think you can like say that you're in the middle of it and it doesn't affect you, kind of
The
thing.
fire can be pointing outside.
All right, so
The wall spells have changed dramatically since like second edition.
Does it move with you? Oh, neat, nice. Then I'm just gonna run to like. So yeah, I think I can get. I don't want to hit the dog. Oh, you two messed me up. I don't want to give him a free attack. Where was it? Right? Was it right there? I can get. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna go right there.
Okay.
That way, the fire gets him.
Yeah.
And he gets a opportunity attack if he wants to. No pressure.
You don't have the movement to move around him without getting into his threat range.
No. Not in cast a spell too.
All right. As you do that, he will attempt to bite you. AC 22.
Enough.
14 piercing and 7 cold.
We all live. We'll see.
So you run around him, and as you're doing that, he goes clamp.
And I return fire with a big 16 points of fire damage to him.
16 points of fire. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a dex save.
And that's.
Oh, it's a
20.
dexterity save.
Mhm.
He gets a save on that.
Yeah. I'll probably make that. No, you make DC 14.
Yeah, he rolled an 11.
So 20. And then I'll cast as a bonus action, I'll cast a healing word on myself. And I'll be done.
So while a fire sticks around,
Yeah. Oh, you mean after the damage? No, I cast it afterwards. Yeah.
it's a
It just
concentration.
stays,
spell,
it
right?
just stays there. It's concentration spell.
Gotcha. So since you would not have cast it until you got into position, his bite would not cause you to have taken a concentration check to keep this. Right. Okay. Becky.
That's another wall of fire. But I would hit-
You smoking the weed?
would hit him.
Hmm.
Becky is
He took my idea.
thumbing through her spell book.
Yeah, I understand.
She never gets to play a wizard because she would be over.
If I'd have gone first, I guess I could have tried to use fabricate, depending on how much metal was out there to put a cage around them.
I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt.
Witch bolt? Okay.
That sounds fun.
With,
I think witch bolt is a ranged
Oh,
touch
it
attack,
is.
right? Yeah. Ranged spell attack against a creature. So you get your spell modifier, but it's against his AC.
26.
So you have to hit a 26 AC. Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, so every spell level above first, I get an extra d12. I'm casting it at 4.
Okay. So 4d12 damage. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and it like doesn't it like create like a connection between you and him and like so there's like this crackling blue energy or whatever that's connecting Cinia to the dragon now.
I have to find 40.
That's gonna make her a friend. I got a feeling.
Yeah, it is.
All the d12s.
I'd be happy. I got a friend.
That's from Toy Story. I'm sorry if you can hear me.
21.
21 points of damage.
Lightning damage.
21 points of lightning damage. Okay. This blue bolt of electric energy pulses between Cinia and the dragon, and it stays there, right? Like, isn't this a concentration spell where you can, like, every round you can use your action to, like, trigger it to, like, fire more electricity into him? Very cool. Do you want to move? Newton, you're up.
Oh shit.
I want to shoot a poison bolt.
It's not as it's only 30-foot range, so I can't do it. Not one of my 120-foot range.
I'm sorry, it's been so long and I asked this
I know.
play, but is it D20 plus my attack bonus to hit?
Yes.
You should also have your proficiency modifier is factored into that. Yeah. +8 sounds right. That'll hit.
So it's 1d8 plus my dex.
You sneak attack too, man.
He's not close enough to be like a sneak attack kind of bonus either, I assume.
No, you get sneak attack damage on it because you were hidden.
Okay. So I'll roll the regular damage first.
Right.
My dex is what? 5. So regular damage. And sneak attack is.
Is it 3d6 now?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's poison.
Yep. So you also get the poison damage added in there. Whew.
Eat that, Drago.
Okay. Yeah, that arrow catches him in the neck, and he kind of grimaces in pain as it hits him. And then it is Araya's turn. Unless you'd like to move, Newton.
I think with my bonus action, I'll just hide again.
Okay.
Not very well. It's a small tree.
Right.
Orion, you would know that if you get within 10 feet of that wall of fire, you'll take damage.
If I get into the red, right?
No, within 10 feet of the outside of the wall. So,
So hot.
Well, I can move there. And that's 10 feet away. So I should be good there.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to move and we're going to punch a couple of times. So AC 11 and AC of 24 for 10 damage.
24 will hit.
I'm going to expend a key point
Okay.
and use Stunning Strike.
better not fail that one.
There you go.
You hit another creature with a melee weapon. You can spend 1 key point to attempt Stunning Strike. Target must succeed on a con saving throw or be stunned until the end of my next turn.
Got it. Dang it.
I mean, that's a pass.
Yes, 21.
Okay. I'll expend another key point then.
Okay.
And do my flurry of blows. So 2 more attacks. You see a 26 for 12 damage.
Yep.
Then a miss, I'm sure. And I'm going to expend another key point and try Stunning Strike again on that hit. I'm assuming that I can do that. It doesn't say anything about a limitation on anything other than the key points.
Yeah, I think your key points are your only penalty on that. I'll look into that further, but as of right now, you're good. Yeah, so this is the problem is that it takes a bonus action. So it's not the key points that are the limitation here. It's that you only have one bonus action on any turn.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't
So-
see where it said that it was a bonus
Yeah.
action. So okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'll
it's-
add.
So
Add that
using
one
a
back
key
in.
point is essentially your bonus action for that turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, I guess the flurry of blows didn't happen.
Yeah.
Boo.
So that's 12 hit points back. Yeah.
11, no 12.
It's
You're
the
right.
12 that hit, right? Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. So like he kind of is chomping at you or whatever, and you parry his face to the side, and then you reach up and punch him in the eyeball, and he recoils with that. So. All right. And it's back to his turn. All right. He is a multi-attacker, which is always fun. And he is going to crash through this tree.
You pissed him off.
Oh.
Yep.
No.
So he does a bite, claw.
Right, claw.
Bite is a 24 AC for 16 total damage, 13 piercing, and 3 cold against you, Newton.
You wasted my spell.
Sorry. Claw number 1 is a 23 to hit for 10 points of slashing damage. And then claw number 2 is a 10 AC, which probably misses, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you took 36 points of damage? No, 26 points of damage.
There's no saving throw for that, right?
Nope. He hit you. The saving throw is your AC. So,
Oh, right.
yeah. All right. Grimgrindel runs into this tree. There's just like a tree that's like completely felled at this point next to you that you were hiding behind. And snow is like wafting in the air where it's still kind of falling from the tops of the trees. Grimgrindel runs over behind and attempts to stab the dragon in the tail with this dagger that he has. And he misses. Yeah. I don't know why I tacked a sneak attack on there, but I guess he would have gotten it. Yeah. And then let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then Jinx runs over behind him too and tries to bite his tail. Oh, and he does. It's a 19 AC, does 5 points of damage. Jinx bites the tail of the dragon, and the dragon like moves its tail back and forth, and Jinx is like holding on for dear life. All right. Adam, your turn.
Guess I'll firebolt him.
Okay. Do you have to drop the wall of fire, or is that not a concentration spell?
It is a concentration spell. It's just I'm throwing a firebolt, so cantrip. So no. Whether it's plus 5 or 6, or yeah, this character 6. Boom. 19.
That's on AC, right? Yeah, that's a hit.
See, I almost got it. There you go. For a whole 6 points of fire damage.
Easy now. All right. So a bolt of fire goes flying out from Adam and hits the dragon in the hindquarters. And Cinia. Adam, you can move if you'd like to.
No, I'm gonna stay there. I mean, the wall of fire can't move with me,
Okay.
so no reason for me to move quite yet. I'll move. I don't know where to move now. I'll move. Just like keep moving the screen. Sorry. Oh, I can't do that. Never mind. Anyway, I'm moving closer to the edge. I'm gonna be right. Sorry, I got a new computer. I can't figure out how to double tap. Anyway, I'll be 5 feet to the
Okay.
southwest from where I'm at.
I missed with an Eldritch Blast.
You missed with Eldritch Blast. Okay. And Newton, you're up.
I'm going to use Ring of the Ram.
Okay.
I'm going to use all 3 charges. I'm going to punch that motherfucker.
Okay.
So it says
It's a +7 bonus to hit.
yeah, +7 bonus, right?
And for each charge you expend, it takes 2d10 force damage and is pushed 5 feet away from you.
So I'm just gonna go all out and just use all of it in one punch.
Okay.
So what's my base attack +7? Just
You'll roll a d20 and you'll add 7 to it.
okay. I just want to make sure I had that right.
Yep.
So I said a minute ago that he pissed the dragon off. I think that the dragon pissed him off more.
Too bad he missed.
That's pretty low. I'm going to use my. I'd like to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yep.
That's
Okay. Interestingly enough, your first roll was exactly his armor class, so it would have hit. So
oh.
yeah,
I
but
guess I should wait for you to say that.
you don't get to know the results though before you use inspiration. So I mean, it was,
okay, so I did that right.
Yeah, so you did it correctly. Okay, well, let's see. So that'll be 2, 4, 6 d10 of force damage, and then you'll knock him 15 feet away from you.
Right back into the wall of fire.
Perhaps. I don't think he's getting knocked back that far.
Whammo.
38 points of damage. Okay. So, the dragon is crushed through this tree and he's chomping at you and trying to bite you, and you're dancing out of the way, and you rear back and the dragon pulls its head up and kind of comes down like it's about to like bite down on top of you, and you hold this ring up and point it at him like fucking Captain Planet. And this spectral ram flies out of this ring and butts heads with this dragon as it's coming down to bite you. And the entire dragon goes flying backwards 15 feet. And you knock a tooth loose. So like there's this dragon's fang goes flying out of his mouth from this force damage that connects with him. So
And then I hide.
okay. That was a haymaker. You delivered a bit of a haymaker to the dragon there. So Araya, your turn.
I'm gonna look at our rogue who just punched this dragon like that. And you remember in Doctor Strange where like they blow his mind and he's like, "Teach me."
Sean, you can roll a sneak if you'd like to.
I did, but I only got a 10.
Okay. Well, 10 might be good enough. It's not.
AC at 28 for 10 and AC at 13 for 12.
All right. So you run over and kind of deliver this like side flying kick to its abdomen, and that drops him.
Oh shit. Take that, dragon.
So there is a dead young white dragon laying here on the ground in front of you. And the poachers by this point are long gone.
I like to grab that dragon tooth that fell out.
Okay.
If you didn't, I was gonna find it and give it to you.
Technically, you can have all the dragon's teeth now, Sean.
That's true. That's true. If you want to spend the time cultivating all of them.
We'll let Grendel do that.
Okay. You do see that
Dragon skills for you?
none of them fall off. That is a process, but you're welcome to try to cultivate body parts if you'd like to. Grimgrindel does go over, and where the tooth fell out of the dragon's mouth, there's some blood like kind of gushing out of its mouth, and he is gathering into a vial blood from this dragon that's kind of oozing out of this open wound.
I'm gonna walk up to him. I'll drop the wall of fire, obviously, and walk up to him and ask him what he's doing. Other than why he's doing that, rather.
Oh, you'll see. Very valuable stuff, dragon blood.
Hmm.
It will serve a very important purpose tomorrow.
I see. Nice.
Oh, tomorrow we enter the Feywild.
We're not in there now.
how,
Big
how
heads
many
were.
other dragons are around here? That was pretty impressive to stumble across a trap dragon.
This is just a baby.
Yeah.
There must be a mother somewhere. We should be going.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys gather your stuff, head down the rest of the road. You make camp for the night. Everything passes fine throughout the course of the evening. Everybody heals all their hit points back, gets all their spells back. It's a long rest. The next morning, you'll need to expend rations as you eat some breakfast for the day. As you're going through the process of eating your rations, getting water, stretching your tired limbs from the previous day's journey, making sure you have all your belongings, you notice that Grimgrindel is going through the process of mixing up this blood with some herbs that he has. And then he takes his finger and puts it in the blood, and he smears a line of it across his forehead.
Cool.
What's that do?
He laughs at you really menacingly.
Does he?
He says, "You can have some too."
What's it do?
And he explains to you that the blood from this powerful magical creature will serve as protection entering the Feywild from the dark magics that reside there.
Okay. I will do it.
Okay. So he gets a big smear of it and smears it across the top of your head in kind of a crescent shape.
Thank you.
Anybody else? You really should.
Okay.
I will.
Okay. Okay. So he gives you a smear, Adam and Newton. What about you,
Yeah,
Orion?
I'll take one as well.
Okay. So he smears this blood across the top of your head, this dragon blood.
Simba.
All right. And so you travel for a few hours and you come to the edge of the Feywild. And as you approach the tree line for the Feywild, this massive forest, it's just trees as far as you can see. The road ends, and this encroaching feeling of darkness weighs on you like a heavy, wet blanket. Ancient trees climb hundreds of feet to the sky and create a canopy that blocks out much of the sun's light. Gnarled tree roots interspersed with stone and patches of snow form a landscape that will require intense focus to keep you from injuring yourself. A suffocating quiet enrobes the forest, leaving only an alien thrumming sound, as if you hear the breathing of an ancient eldritch creature waiting to come back to life. And that is where we will end tonight.
Do I see any spider webs or Legolas?
No spider webs. No.
The dwarves didn't see him either until they were days and days in.
That's true. That is true. All right, let's go XP. All right, so tonight's not a ton of XP actually. 700 each.